coming down for our interviews. So we'll just start. We have Alex and Lauren, and then Queen and Aoife are interviewing Nina and Deirdre. So thanks for coming down. And if you've got any questions at the end, feel free to ask. We'll have a quick Q&A. Yeah, so Lauren and Alex will start. Oh no, Aoife and Queen will start. Perfect.
Our first interviewee is renowned for being an accomplished jockey. She was victorious in the Irish Car National in 2011 on a horse called Organised Confusion, becoming the second female jockey to win this prestigious race. She has celebrated 7 winners at the famous Cheltenham Festival. Alongside her racing career, Nina is a horse breeder.
Most of you may remember Nina from appearing on television shows such as Dancing with the Stars and Ireland's Fittest Family. She won the Mirrorball Trophy on Dancing with the Stars in 2022. Following her success in Dancing with the Stars, Nina became a coach in Ireland's Fittest Family for 2 seasons. She has also written a children's series of books called The Rowntree Stables. She was recently elected to the European Parliament for representing the Midlands Northwest. Everyone, we're really honoured to welcome Nina Carberry.
Thank you, Karen. So it's a lovely introduction. You're very good. I'm delighted to be here today to support your project.
Thank you. To begin, would you be able to give us a brief background on how you were first introduced to the world of horse racing?
Yeah, I will. I'm from a history in horse racing. I have a family that's bred into it. My mother was a daughter of a trainer who had trained the Gold Cup and a Grand National winner. My dad had ridden that Gold Cup and Grand National winner, so you could say they were they met at a very young age, and they had 6 children. I have 5 brothers and no sisters, so I was brought up in a very male-dominated house, you could say. I fought my corner from a very young age, but we were all into horses, and we had ponies from a very young age as well. So yeah, it was a brilliant upbringing with outdoor life and learning lots of skills as well. I then became an amateur jockey at the age of 16, from lots of support from my parents and my brothers, and it snowballed from then. I had my first win when I was 18 or 17 or so, and it went from there. And ladies races was a big opportunity for me. I felt it very hard to get rides in normal races when, you know, there wasn't, back then it was very male dominated, and it still is, to be honest, with horse racing, but ladies races gave me the outlet to show the skills I had, and I took every opportunity I did, and it progressed, and I suppose trainers and owners got very noticed my skills and were very really wanted me to ride for them because I was producing the goods and having the winners for them. So I became quite popular of a jockey to be used, and it came to the point where they were just putting up a jockey rather than a girl or a female jockey. So I was very proud of that, and the fact that they were just bringing me up because I was just one another jockey. And my sister-in-law now, who's probably at the same age as me, we both did the same thing. She won an Irish national as well because she had the same skills as me. We performed the same way, and I think it really helped women coming behind us to really help in that sphere. And now we see Rachel Blackmore, which I'm so proud of. Every single day I look at her riding, and she's a professional. I never jumped to that professional level, but I'm very proud looking back at her and what she's achieved. A Gold Cup, a Grand National winner, which all the dreams I had growing up, but she achieved them, and I'm so glad that I hope that we broke the glass for her to go and achieve that. And then, as you said, I came to retirement and I wanted to have a family. It was very hard to juggle both family and being a jockey, because being a jockey, you're on 24/7, you're looking after the horses during the day, and then you're out racing. Racing is a very, I suppose, it's very hard. You're on weekends, you're on bank holidays, so you're working all the days that people are off as well. So you have to work the extra hours to really be at the top. So there's a lot of sacrifices that I took along the way. I didn't take those girls' holidays when I was younger. I just was quite narrow-minded in the way I was thinking. I suppose the way I wanted to achieve was just become 100% dedicated and not have anything to distract me. But I suppose when I wanted to go and have a family, it was one of the things that I've always wanted in my life, so I had to take a step back from racing, and I had my first girl when I was 34, and Rosie. And when Rosie came along, it really gave me life perspective, and I took a year while she was a baby, continuing to be a jockey, but I realised then I couldn't give it the same amount that I could when I didn't have her. So I made the choice to step down and continue in racing, but in a different sphere, as you said, breeding and training. So it's basically where it's gone from, and I did Dancing with the Stars, which really lifted my profile. Amazing experience and journey I took there, and then to be able to do Fittest Families and be a coach in there was the most amazing experience. Being around Davy Fitz, Sonia Sullivan, Anna Geary, and Donna O'Callaghan was an incredible experience as well. And now I'm in my political career, so that's the kind of quick background to try to give to you, but yeah, try to keep it as short as I could.
Nina, what has been your proudest achievement during your career that has been influenced by your sport?
Yeah, I suppose from a very young age I've always been quite sporty. I've always taken it on, whichever sport it was, but I was very proud when I was in secondary school. I took on a sport that I'd never played before. I entered first year. I was quite, didn't have many friends in school, so I joined the basketball club, or the basketball at lunchtime, and I really connected with the coach. I got quite dedicated to it, made lots of friends within the basketball group, and I was very proud then within second year. I went for trials, for the Leinster trials. I got on them, and then we progressed from there, and I got on the Ireland team. So in third year I played in the squad for the Irish team, and for me to put on an Irish jersey was incredible, and to have that outside of racing, because I suppose that's what I was always doing, riding ponies or whatever, but to do that from a very young age, from first class to third year, I think I was very proud that I reached the Irish team. So while I was younger I did that, and then obviously I'm very proud within the racing industry to achieve an Irish Grand National winner was probably one of the most I suppose proud moments of my life, because it's something that's embedded in my own history of our family. My dad won it, my uncle won it, my uncle had trained a winner, my dad had trained a winner of it, my two brothers had won Irish Nationals, so I felt so proud when it was a female to be among all the men there. So probably that in racing was one of my proudest moments.
So we're trying to encourage young girls to stay in sport, and after being a successful athlete at the highest level, where your success is worth the sacrifices you have to make along the way, such as injuries?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most, I think sport should be fun for everybody, no matter what way you look at it. I know I had a career out of sports, but I do think the first and foremost, it needs to be fun. If it's not fun, no one wants to do it, and that's everything in life. And if it's not fun, whether it's a coach, whether it's not, you're not feeling included, or you feel that there's barriers there for you, I think the most important thing, if you're not feeling fun, if you're not feeling a part of it, of course you're not going to do it. So I think we all have to make a difference to make sport, and making sure that it's inclusive for everybody, that, you know, if someone wants to be competitive, let them be competitive, but at the end of the day, we have to include everybody from a very young age to make sure that everyone's enjoying it, everyone has a part to play in sport, whether it's rugby, whether you're playing your local GA or your local camogie club. I think it's important that everyone has a chance to show what skills they can have, and I think we're getting there. I think, but it's taken time to make it more inclusive, and it's not going to be easy to keep it going. We've talked about this in the room before, how much barriers there is, and especially injuries as well. That, you know, if we overface players and they get injured, and it's very hard to get back. I know myself, having injuries, it's not easy. Breaking through the barrier of being fit and then being unfit, it's very hard. And I think what I did foremost was rely on the network of people around me, especially my parents, my friends. I think that was the foremost, well, the network of people around you and supporting you was the most important thing. But at the end of the day, everything to do with sport should be fun, and when that leaves you, I think we need to be asking ourselves, why is it not fun? So we need to address that, I think.
Growing up, did you ever feel at certain points you felt like quitting your sporting career between balancing your academic and social life? And if so, like, what made you keep going?
I was lucky enough, I kept going. I probably wasn't the most academic in school, so sport was what kept me in school and gave me the drive to be in every day. After that, I suppose the only time that I kind of quit one of the sports, which was Gaelic football, I didn't have a female, a ladies team to join. I actually was with the boys team up until the age of about 12. I played with them, and then when they kind of had their own team, I wasn't welcome anymore, so that's probably one of the reasons why I quit there. But now I think the tide is turning. I'm very proud of my own club back in Ratoath. We could nearly fit 3 teams, even underage at the minute, so I think I'm very proud of that we've gone a long way in 2 decades, so I think we need to keep pushing it, and we need to keep supporting our ladies as well to keep going, and I think hopefully in time it will merge eventually, the GAA and ladies football in Camogie. I think it's so important that we see inclusivity and that we see that the funds are going equally across all clubs, but most important is that we just keep hoping that we can look for funding as well. I think it's very important.
So, as you mentioned before, you're now an MEP. Do you feel the characteristics you gained from sport led you to this opportunity and position?
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose my racing career gave me the profile as a national profile, and then when I did Dance with the Stars, that was an incredible journey as well, and there was a lot of tough training nights, but it all made it worthwhile when I lifted the trophy. And the profile, I think when I look back, everything is kind of a stepping stone to where I am now, and the way sport has shaped me as a person, I'm very grateful for it. It's made me dedicated, it's made me understand you have to make sacrifices along the way, whatever way you look at it. If you want to achieve, you have to make sacrifices, and you have to be dedicated, because otherwise it just won't come. You might be the best in the world, but you actually have to work at it and make it happen for yourself, because it won't happen if you don't put your mind to it and follow your dreams. And that's what I did. I followed my dream everywhere I could, and set goals for myself, which is the most important thing, is setting goals along the way and not having them unachievable goals, but achievable goals that you can keep working towards. I think was the most important thing that I learned as a sports person, and hopefully I'll keep continuing and doing that and delivering for Ireland itself as well.
As a woman in sport, do you feel that girls in particular face barriers in sporting opportunities, and how do you think we can overcome these barriers?
Yeah, there's lots of barriers out there, and I hope we're getting a bit better. As I said, when I was growing up, I didn't have a ladies team. We're getting there, but we're not there far enough, as we wouldn't be having this conversation if there wasn't barriers there, as you said. But I think we need to keep striving for better, for more inclusivity, and I think women have so much to offer in sport. I love watching ladies camogie and football. I think it's so skillful game, and I nearly enjoyed watching my own Meath County players playing, ladies playing, and I really enjoy going to Croke Park to watch them. And I think it's so important that we need to publicise it more, that the ladies get their fair share on media as well, because that's important, because it gives everyone a face to look up to, a hero to look up to, and I think it's very important that we have Olympian heroes, but we also have local heroes too that we can look up to, especially from a young age. I have 2 girls that are in GA at the minute, and they, at least if I bring them now to the girls watching them play, they might start to strive to be like them one day. So I think it's important that we have local role models as well as national and international as well.
So, growing up, did you feel that sports had a positive impact on you, and how has it helped influence who you've become today?
Yeah, as I said, it's had lots of influence on my whole life. from a very young age. My brothers, I suppose, helped a lot in that, shaping me as a person, being tough, fighting my own corner, not feeling that I should be left out because as a girl. They included me in everything they did. When I was a young girl, starting off, I had a little pony, and to be fair to my brothers, they were kind of 10 years older than me or so, and they'd always put a little jump beside their big jump, include me in their races. So I think they had a big part to play in shaping me who I was, and then it gave me the opportunity to fight my corner when sport came along. So I suppose they made me tougher and competitive, and I think that's what sport does as well. But as I said, it doesn't have to be competitive for everybody. I think the most important thing that it's fun. But at least that if someone feels that they're not academically doing well, that they feel that outlet in sport and that they can achieve. I think that's the most important thing that we should say today as well.
Do you have any advice for young girls contemplating giving up or maybe quitting their sport?
Yeah, maybe just think twice. I think looking back, I was so fit all my life and had that sporting, I suppose, competitiveness. But I do think being out and about and out with your friends, it's such a lovely feeling, and I miss it every single day because obviously I have an office job now. I get out and about a little bit, but I don't get to exercise as much, and I really do miss it. And I feel now that I have to try really hard. But I think if you can surround yourself with people that want to do something, and that if you can find a sport that you love and enjoy, I think that's the most important thing. Like, if one sport doesn't suit you, I think you should try something else. Like, it might be golf, it might be fishing, it might be, I don't know, climbing. It's something that you just need to keep finding, because it's such an important part of life, of being active and being out. And I think it's important that if you're feeling like dropping out of one sport, maybe think of joining another. Not everybody suits a certain sport, so I think maybe think to other things, and even new clubs are great. If you're thinking of dropping out of a sport, maybe join a new club, because they do different things, and it might open you up to other things to do in your spare time if you can.
What was your experience growing up as a female jockey participating in such a male-dominated sport?
Yeah, I didn't really go through a whole lot of the barriers I had faced, but I did face them. I had to really fight very hard early on to get rights, because at the end of the day, trainers and owners that are putting up jockeys only see male jockeys, and they haven't really seen a whole lot of females. So this is why I said that ladies' races were so important to me. Starting off, we had about 25 in the season, so I really focused in on them and making sure that I had a ride every time that a ladies' race was there, and I'd phone up and I'd make sure that the trainer heard my side of it, that I needed to be on this horse, I wanted to do the best for it, and I felt that I could win on it. So eventually I wore them down and I got a few rides and I started winning, and then a few trainers got confidence in putting me up, and after that, as I said, it just rolled into them having confidence putting me up as a jockey, not just as a female jockey. So yeah, it wasn't easy at the start, especially facilities. The men always had big rooms, they had people, assistants looking after them, looking after their saddles when they came in. Let's say on a dirty day that you'd have all your clothes and you could put them into a dryer and a washer, and we didn't have that. And I think we've grown a lot over the years, especially myself, Katie Walsh, Lisa O'Neill, who've all had winners in Cheltenham now, Rachel Blackmore. I think we've been leaders, and where we are now in facilities, we're in a lot better position, and we still need to get better, but we're a lot better. I think one day I remember going to a certain racetrack and I had to get changed in the cleaning room in the public toilet. But it didn't matter to me because I was able to ride, and to be honest, I didn't even think where I was. But I think when I look back and I was like, God, it was so bad, you know. But I'm glad now that we're in a situation, and I think we need to keep pushing for better facilities in all sports across the board, and it's important that we have inclusivity as well.
So, last question. This is a bit of a broad one now, but what do you think is next for you in your career?
I hope I stay in a political career for a bit longer anyway. Yeah, listen, I want to really achieve, especially in something like this subject here is very important to me, sport, whether it's at a young, underage or senior level. I think it's very important that we keep pushing for that and we keep resources going to that. I think we cannot think that this is a side issue. This is 100% a massive priority for me and in the European Union alone. I want to have events there to promote sport. I just actually was at an event recently and they said that 45% of Europeans don't exercise or aren't involved in sport, which was astounding. So this is something that I want to tackle at a European level, and to make sure that this is a thing that will keep people out of getting cardiovascular disease. It looks after obesity. This is something that is a very simple thing that we should be tackling at a European level, and I think the European Union needs to get behind it and make it more facilities for girls as well, and that we all have a chance to use the facilities, and I think it's important that we have enough facilities to go around for everybody.
Thanks again for coming down, Nina. We really appreciate you coming down. We know you have a very busy schedule. So we're just going to open up the floor for anyone who has any questions in the audience.
Don't be afraid, I won't bite. Anybody at all? Any question? Yeah?
What age did you get your first pony at?
I think I was about 2. I had all my brother's hand-me-downs ponies, so he was very well schooled, but I used to get a fall off, and I'd say every single day he used to get me off, and yeah, he made me very tough as well, but I didn't have to fall too far. I'd say he was only that high, so yeah, it was a very young age, yeah. Any other questions? Go on, don't be shy. Yeah.
Are you still in contact with the people you used to play for the national team with, all the people from the sport?
From the basketball?
Yeah, you still know them.
Yeah, it's actually funny. You know Jackie Hurley from Mortee? She used to play with me, and her auntie used to teach me in Loretto, Navan. And it's just such a small world. So that was one of the coaches that really inspired me to get into basketball. But the focus she showed me on that, and to be dedicated, and to be honest, I really wanted to play hockey, but she really kept me focusing on one sport and really helped me achieve in that, and really gave me the platform to achieve, because I don't think if you can really achieve unless people believe in you behind you as well. So you really do need to connect with the people in it. I know you're doing great work here in TY. I think it's amazing that you give all your students to try different sports. I think it's so important, because not every sport, as I said, is for everybody. But yeah, Jackie Hurley was one of my teammates, but there was 25 of us on the squad, so but she'd be the one that I'd be most in contact with, yeah. And you do make friendships, you do, and you keep them going, and I'm friends with so many people in sport and racing as well, but I think that's the point you're trying to make, that, you do stay friends with people and your team in sport, and you do, it's so important for your social outlet as well. Yeah.
Could you tell us a bit about the books that you wrote?
Yeah, I wrote 3 books so far, and they're all about a little bit about my life growing up. I had a best friend who was a boy, and he's in it as well, but I suppose it's all amalgamated into all the ponies I used to ride, the different events I used to go to on ponies, and then yeah, probably giving my experience of pony camp, the importance of looking after your pony within the books as well, and then having adventures on top of that. I used to have great adventures on my pony, just head out and enjoy nature, and I hope that my books represent that as well. But they're for 7 to 12-year-olds, so it's I think they're enjoyable. My 2 girls enjoy it, and I hope if anyone has them, they enjoy them too. But it was something that I really wanted to do, and hopefully people enjoy it. But that was the main reason. My girls wanted to know about my past, so I kind of was able to put a little bit of that in there as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that I never played a whole lot of GAA, and my assistant Sean will be able to probably tell you more, and Deirdre will probably be able to tell you more in that sphere. But yeah, I do think it's odd having two different rules for me, but obviously, hopefully they can work on it, that they can make it a bit more streamlined, and if the rules work for women, grand. But I do worry that we have different rules for the same sport. So maybe Deirdre might be able to answer that question a bit more, because I don't play enough of it, to be honest, to know the experience of it. So maybe she could highlight that a bit more. Sorry, just someone else have a question there.
Do you consider yourself famous?
Oh. No, I think it's a bit surreal, to be honest. I try not to think that I'm famous, but I know that you can't get away from the fact that I did Dance with the Stars and Fittest Family, so, but I hope that no one thinks that they can't approach me because they feel like I have a high profile or something. I'd always like to be accessible to everybody, so not to think that people think that I'm up in the clouds. I'm certainly not. Anybody else? Yeah.
When did you publish your first book?
It was last, what was it, 2023. Yeah, that was my first one. Yeah. Oh, which one of my favourite? Well, horse racing has to be because it gave me my career, but I love basketball. I thought it was a really fast game. They say it's not contact, but I think it was very contact. I loved basketball so much, and I wish I probably kept it up. I love running. I did a lot of athletics as well, long jump, hurdles. But probably the most sport I loved most was the team sport, which was basketball, because you're relying on your players. You have a social outlet. You're talking to someone every day. I feel maybe being a jockey, it's quite an individual sport, individually minded, driven. You have to be very mentally tough. You can't rely on anyone else other than yourself. If you've made a mistake, your team can't pick you up again. You have to pick yourself up. So I think that's what I missed most about being in a team sport was that, and I would have missed basketball the most. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think he was. He's about 18 hands. I don't know how to even measure 18 hands, but he was very, very big. So when I'm looking at his shoulder, he's probably that much bigger than me. So he's quite tall. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I can't hear you. Yes, I do. My dad gave me my first ride on the track, and he bought him at sales, and he got an owner to buy him. And we went to the race course, and this is the horse's first run, and it was my first ride. And it was in a local track in Ferry House, and I was so nervous because my dad had bought the horse, right? This owner had bought this horse then off my dad. I felt so much responsibility. If this horse didn't run well or perform well, it was going to be my fault. And I literally was so nervous. But when I got up on the horse, I knew him inside out, and he ran really well, and he finished third. And I was very proud because I went into the winner's enclosure and into the number 3 spot. The owner was delighted and everything, but yeah, that was a very proud day because my dad was proud of me, and not that he was a man for many words or wouldn't praise you too much. When he didn't say a whole lot, I knew I was doing well. So yeah, I was very proud that day when I had my first ride. But it was great that my dad supported me. I don't know who would have given me rides if I didn't have him.
So I think we'll wrap it up now.
No problem. Sorry. But if anyone has any questions, tell them to write to you guys, and you can maybe send them on if they have any more.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Thanks very much, and best of luck.